Hey everybody, it's Connor from the HooperCast here for the weekend quick pick, I guess. It's Monday night, and my kids are not all right. They are screaming and crying, and it has not been a good night in the Dempsey household for discipline, but you don't care about that, do you? All you care about is subscribing to our YouTube channel. It's HooperCast. It's on YouTube. We have a great need for some subscribers right now so we can get to 1,000 so we can make something of ourselves, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, get us to 1,000 so we can make some money. And then life could be grand. Fantastic. All right. Want to get into a few other things tonight, namely the weekend box office. So I think this was last week's box office. Predator opened at number 1. The Nun remained at The Nun got knocked down to number 2, and then A Simple Favor debuted at number 3, beating out White Boy Rick. I can't quite remember what I predicted the next week's box office would be. Number 1 from this past weekend, the 21st through 23rd of September, has been The House with a Clock in Its Walls. House with a Clock in Its Walls opened at $26 million. A Simple Favor jumped up to number 2 from number 3 with $10 million. The Nun fell from number 2 to number 3 with just shy of $9.9 million. Barely lost its spot to A Simple Favor. And The Predator fell from number 1 to number 4 in its second weekend with $9 million. So we were sort of saying last week how The Predator didn't have a great Rotten Tomatoes rating. It wasn't doing too well. There's Fahrenheit 11.9, for those of you who care, way down the list, debuting at number 8 with $3 million. And Life Itself, wow. Life Itself debuting at number 11 with only $2 million? Wow. Boy, I was wrong on that one. Jeez. Anyway, A House with a Clock in Its Walls. I'm getting Universal film, family film, is it not? What's it rated? PG. Okay. A PG fantasy film. Yeah. So a decent opening for them. If they have a $42 million budget, that's still not great. Okay, well, there's that. So not much really to say for that box office weekend. We're in September, which is kind of a slow month before you gear up for the fall Oscar movies and the Halloween, type movies. So September is not a great month really anyways. It's weird because usually the dump month is like January or February. But they keep experimenting with that. Black Panther came out in February, and Black Panther did gangbusters. It was number 1 for like 7 or 8 weeks. So January used to be the dump month, and then there was February. But now it's like they keep moving them around, like September now. Or maybe it's always been a dump month. This is the first year I've ever heard September referred to as a dump month. But apparently it's always just been that way. It's just the fall dump month. So what do you think is going to happen next weekend? Well, we got to look at what's debuting next weekend. If you look at Fandango opening this weekend, next weekend, this weekend, however you want to say it. Here's what we got. Is this freezing again? Come on, you. We got Hellfest. What the hell is that? Okay, horror film. Who is the director? We got a guy looking like I don't even know what's going on there. Gas mask, something. Here's the synopsis. A masked killer targets unsuspecting patrons in a horror theme park on Halloween night. Oh, I heard about this. Okay, cool. So this stars a bunch of people I've never heard of. Director Gregory Plotkin, never heard of him. Okay. The trailer.
You think you're scaring me? No. Move.
Look, the more scared you seem, the more they're going to come after you. You have to just play it cool.
Help me! Please help me! Just do it. That was insane, right? Yeah, real.
Okay, so that's a little bit from the trailer for Hellfest. So it's a kind of a slasher movie type of deal. I don't expect too much out of that one. The more popular ones probably this weekend are going to be Night School, starring Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. The synopsis, as you might imagine, for a movie called Night School is: a man deals with misfit students and a feisty teacher while attending night school to get his GED. Oh, goody. The hilarity ensues. Directed by Malcolm D. Lee, starring Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, Rob Riggle, maybe for a date or something. The last one here is Smallfoot, rated PG. A Yeti named Migo stirs up his community when he discovers something that he didn't know existed: a human. Directed by Carrie Kirkpatrick, starring the voices of Channing Tatum, James Corden, Zendaya, Common, LeBron James. The list was getting more and more ridiculous. It has a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes. That means something to me. That's the one that's gonna have the broadest appeal, and probably the one that has the best chance of actually taking number one at the box office. So my prediction for the box office this weekend is, I think, honestly, damn it, I don't know. This stupid, horrible month. Would A House with a Clock in Its Walls hang on to number one just by virtue of being, a fantasy film with live action, just starring people that you like, or Smallfoot just being something with people's voices that you might recognize, but not really. Kids don't recognize Channing Tatum's voice. Who else is in this movie? Channing Tatum. Who else did I say? Common, LeBron James. Number one is going to be Night School. Number two is going to be Smallfoot, and number three is going to be Hellfest. That's my prediction. No, you know what? I'm going to change that too. I think number one, Night School. Number two, House with a Clock in Its Walls, and number three is going to be Smallfoot. That's my prediction for next week. Quick recommendation if you don't want to go out to the theaters, which I don't blame you at all. Just check out some stuff I've been looking at recently on Netflix that I'm kind of ready to talk about. I would definitely recommend this. If you like where is it? If you like Transformers at all, oh, it's not there. That's cool. If you like Transformers at all, I don't know why the thingy isn't up to check it out, but well, there's my list. Maybe I can find it on my list. You should check out Transformers Prime. I've been saying on the show for weeks now that I've been watching this with my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, who loved it. I say loved because it was only one season, and then it's just off of, there it is. It's just off of Netflix for some reason. And then it came back on the list, but there's only one season. And I know there's 3 seasons of this show. So I'm not sure why it's only part of the season, but man, it was good while it lasted. I think it was like 24 episodes. Anyway, we really loved Transformers Prime. The writing was good, the animation was good, the character work was good, the voice acting was good. Great show. I'd even watch it through again, just for her and I to have something to do at night. Because this Beast Hunters movie, might fill the gap, and the Transformers Robots in Disguise one season that we have on Netflix might do well, but Prime was just so good. I'm not sure any other series could live up to it. I mean, it's better than the Michael Bay films, obviously. It's probably my favorite iteration of the Transformers thus far. So if you are looking for something to watch, especially if you have kids, something safe for them to watch, but they'll hold their attention and actually hold your attention, Transformers Prime is it. That is my recommendation, for sure. Easily. It's great. It's a great show. Transformers Prime on Netflix, one season, I think 20 something episodes. That's all I'm going to recommend right now. The rest of the stuff I haven't seen enough of to talk about, especially not on the quick pick, which isn't even the purpose of this show. That's my quick pick, Transformers Prime. There you go. No more. You get no more things. Everybody have a good night. Have a good week. Have a safe week. Get out this weekend, see some good movies. There might be a full episode of the show this week. We might do an episode of the HooperCast. We might not. It just depends on how I feel on Wednesday. I'm a little bit light on things I've seen. It just depends on if I get around to finishing Icarus. And if I haven't finished Icarus by Wednesday, or if I have finished Icarus but I just don't feel like talking about it, then there just won't be a show. So just if you subscribe to the YouTube page, the YouTube channel, you could actually find all this stuff out right away if you wanted to. And if you got the notifications, you'll just get a little push notification if an episode appears on the YouTube channel. But I'm on the fence about doing an episode this week just because Dustin's busy and I don't have that much to talk about, so I'm not going to force. You saw how this episode turned out, so I'm not going to do that for a whole hour on Wednesday night if I don't feel so inclined, because this show is not my job; it's my hobby, and the whole point is if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not doing it. Mofo. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Have a good week. See or stream some good movies. See you next week. Goodbye.